Here we go.
Wow, we got a new champion, and welcome to my WWE Elimination Chamber 2021 recap and reactions. And in this video, as usual, all the matches that took place from tonight's event is just going to be in the description, and I just can't believe this. And just from that moment, well, who didn't see that coming? The Miz is cashing in his Money in the Bank briefcase. It was only a matter of time, because Roman Reigns didn't even have to defend his title inside the Elimination Chamber. He only had, what, a 5-minute match? But anyway, we're going to start with the kickoff show, and then we're going to go right into the main show, and then we're going to discuss our winners. And it's a couple things that I'm curious about what's going to happen tomorrow night for Monday Night Raw, now that we have a different champion after Miz cashing in his Money in the Bank briefcase. So I have a couple things I want to talk about when it comes to that contract. It's like, how did he even, it's weird how they made it, have him get it back, but I'll just talk about it going towards the end of the video. But let's start with the kickoff show. We had a couple changes, from unexpected changes I didn't even hear about from some of the matches from the match card tonight. Now this one being one of them. Now is every time, as usual, it's always one kickoff show or one match to kick before the event starts. So the kickoff show had a different change of events when it comes to United States Championship, and something apparently happened to Keith Lee, where he was unable to compete tonight. So they had to make some last minute changes to the match card. And then another additional match I want to mention real quick, the Asuka versus Lacey Evans women's or Raw women's tag, well, I was going to say women's tag team match, Raw Women's Championship match was canceled. So that match is completely off the card. So that was supposed to happen tonight. So it looks like Asuka's probably going to end up defending her championship in the next final event before WrestleMania, Fastlane. But we don't know who she's going to end up taking on as a possible opponent. But let's get on and talk about the kickoff show. So this new match that was added to the card was John Morrison versus Ricochet versus Elias versus Mustafa Ali in a fatal 4-way. And the winner of this match will go on to face, or not even just face Bobby Lashley, but it will be added as the replacement of Keith Lee in the triple threat match for the United States Championship for Matt Riddle, against Matt Riddle and Bobby Lashley. So John Morrison ended up going all the way to compete and be the last, or basically the replacement of Keith Lee, who can compete tonight to be added into the triple threat match. But now that was the results of the kickoff show. But I like how they did this, because they had a plan for this particular match, but no sort of opponent against Asuka, with all those talented women back there to really try to step up to the plate and give them a chance at a spotlight, or maybe the shot of a championship opportunity. But I don't know what else to really say about that. And when it comes to the replacement of Asuka's match, so she didn't end up getting a match and having to defend her title tonight. But let's get on to our main show now. So it started off for our very first Elimination Chamber match with the men's SmackDown, for sure, to start off the main show. The #1 Contenders elimination match, or Elimination Chamber match. So the winner of this particular match will go on to face Roman Reigns immediately once the Chamber match is over. So it's no surprise to really see that Roman Reigns is going to retain his title, which he actually ended up doing. But for this particular match, you got Kevin Owens, you got Cesaro, and Daniel Bryan, and King Corbin versus Sami Zayn, and then Jey Uso were the 6 competitors in this Elimination Chamber match. I was a little scared that Jey Uso was going to win this match, but he's more than capable of being a solo competitor, even without Jimmy Uso at his side as his usual tag team partner. I almost thought that Jey Uso, it was looking as if they wanted Jey Uso to win, because he had plenty of rest time going towards the end, with Daniel Bryan and Cesaro battling it out and being the other 2 competitors, the final 3 of this particular Elimination Chamber match. So it was very surprising to see that they had Daniel Bryan or just someone outside of Jey Uso win, because I was afraid that Jey Uso would probably end up coming out on top of this match, because he's supposed to be his henchman, or Roman Reigns' right-hand man, and I thought, well, maybe Jey Uso will probably end up winning the match, and then he's supposed to forfeit the match and give himself up to Roman Reigns and have him automatically just forfeit the match, and he just easily retains the championship. But it was just a given to Roman Reigns because he didn't have to defend his championship tonight in the Elimination Chamber like Drew McIntyre did. So I already knew something was going to be a little bit different tonight. But Roman Reigns ended up facing Daniel Bryan as a result, and he didn't even stand a chance because he was already worn out from the Elimination Chamber match. So we already saw this coming, with Roman Reigns basically being able to retain his championship. So as ugly as it was to really see this match, and why did they even add this match to the match cards beyond me, is a 5-minute match, or maybe less than 5 minutes, to have Daniel Bryan not even stand a chance, even try to put up a fight against Roman Reigns. It was just too much already from the chamber match to endure. So right after this, it did get some good out of it, at least, because Edge just ended up spearing Roman Reigns. So he decided to pick Roman Reigns as his opponent for WrestleMania this year. So I'm hoping Edge ends up finding a way to end up beating Roman Reigns, to have him drop the title, so we could put it into this head of the table just sort of gimmick and just have him do something else. And the fact that I'm just getting tired of it. I'm just ready for somebody else to step up. And the only reason why Roman Reigns was able to retain his championship is because of Jey Uso. The constant interference, and Owens should have been champion. I would have liked to see him become a champion. I'm curious to see what else they're going to possibly put together for the Fastlane event. But when it comes to things like this, I think they're just going to probably have him remain as champion until WrestleMania comes around. So, Edge ends up making his decision, so I'm happy with that. So even though after the stipulation of the short match, we got our WrestleMania match, or one of them at least, as a result. But now on to another match, the triple threat match for the United States Championship. Just as I mentioned from the kickoff show, John Morrison ended up advancing to this match. So you had John Morrison taking on Matt Riddle and the defending champion Bobby Lashley for the United States Championship. So in triple threat matches, there's no disqualification. So Matt Riddle ended up finding a way to win his first championship after his NXT adventures, or his action on NXT before getting the call forward or the call up on the main brands for Monday Night Raw and Smackdown. This is his first championship that he actually ended up getting on Monday nights. So I'm happy with this. So this didn't even result as a very happy Bobby Lashley, I would really say. But I'm going to have to get ready to talk about that going towards the end. But it was more to them than Bobby Lashley just ended up losing the United States Championship. So we got a new United States champion. Now we're going to talk about the Women's Tag Team Championship match with Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax defending their championships against Bianca Belair, the Women's Royal Rumble winner, and Sasha Banks in the tag team action. Now, I almost wanted them to win. I wanted Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair to end up holding the tag team champions for a little bit, just for a short period of time, but then just have them, it just probably wouldn't be a good fit, knowing that your potential opponent at WrestleMania and your tag team, is also your tag team partner, and you guys are tag team champions holding the belts and the titles. Eventually you're just going to lose them anyway because there's going to be a fallout. So they probably just didn't want them to probably end up winning, just something to add on to the event to bring it together, because you know it's going to come. You know it's coming with Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair. Well, at least I think that's who she's going to probably end up picking, but unless something changes. But Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler ended up retaining their championships because the sommelier of Carmella ended up getting involved and kind of messed things up for Sasha Banks and distracted her to using a bottle of champagne to try to hit Nia Jax with. Well, it probably would have gotten her disqualified as a result because the ref was right there. But they ended up retaining their championships, the Women's Tag Team Championships. So I'm sure it's going to be another tag team to challenge them going towards WrestleMania. I guess it'll probably be some kind of fatal 4-way tag team championship. I wish they didn't even really put away the Iconics. They're really cool just to really have them as a duo and a perfect duo to really become tag team champions. So I guess we're not going to get that anymore. So that was that match. But now we're going to talk about our final match, and if you can believe it, because it was just that short of a card. But our main event was the elimination match, or elimination chamber match for the Raw's men 6 competitors. You had the defending champion, Drew McIntyre, or I should say former champion now, Kofi Kingston versus Sheamus versus AJ Styles, Randy Orton, and Jeff Hardy. Now, something I thought was going to happen, I thought the Fiend would probably end up appearing in the chamber to distract Randy Orton, or maybe Alexa Bliss would probably try some of her tricks, maybe some of her sorcery that we already got to see with her flame tricks and fire magic. But I thought she was going to be out there, or maybe some kind of interference would probably cause Randy Orton to get distracted. But Randy Orton and Jeff Hardy ended up being the first two in the match, so I figured something probably wasn't going to end up happening in the long run. But Drew McIntyre ended up just retaining his championship, but he was just so beaten and battered, bruised after this long match. Every match on the card was great, but just I could tell something was gonna happen. They raised the chamber up as if somebody was supposed to come out there and something was going to happen. I thought Sheamus was gonna come back out there and try to bro kick him or something like that, but out of nowhere, remember how Bobby Lashley was so upset that he lost the championship, his United States Championship. He gets randomly attacked by Bobby Lashley. And he ended up losing. He caught the master lock. He put him in the hurt lock. He slammed him down a couple of times, slammed him up against the table, the announcer table outside. Just tackling and throwing him down, power slamming. It's just all the things that you could possibly imagine to weaken Drew McIntyre. So the Miz's music hits. What I'm thinking, Bobby Lashley was in association or some kind of random alliance with the Miz. So, of course, he wasn't doing that. So, I thought maybe Bobby Lashley might be his potential opponent for Fastlane. But we not getting that. The Miz come out there, cash in, hit him with the skull-crushing finale, and that was basically it. So, he's now the new champion. So, he tried everything. I knew he was going to eventually cash in. But just with the raising of the chamber, very early, just right after the match ended, and then I just was thinking, it was so much more they could have did for this match card tonight. There's got to be more to it, and there we go. We got our new champion, our new WWE champion. So the Miz, I'm cool with this. I don't have a problem with it personally. We saw this coming. We saw this coming. We saw this happening, and I was just gonna say, I wonder how long the Miz is gonna be able to keep this championship. He's probably gonna be able to keep it until Fastlane. Maybe he'll keep it until WrestleMania. But maybe they're probably going to give him a decent run for the title for his championship reign. Because it's been a long time since he held a championship before. Or at least the WWE Championship or the World Heavyweight Championship. Way before it even ever became the Universal Championship. So, and when they already unified the belts and stuff like that, they did so many different things over the years. But now, I'm personally cool with The Miz being the champion. But for some reason, I just get this feeling that he's not going to have it that long. They'll probably just have him cash in. They had him cash in. Let's give him the belt right now. And then maybe going towards Mania, or maybe before WrestleMania, or maybe at WrestleMania, he'll probably end up losing his championship. But Drew McIntyre is probably going to end up getting it back. I wonder if there are going to be any other superstars that's going to get involved. No more legends. Keep the legends out of the way. Not Goldberg to come out of nowhere and try to get a championship opportunity. And we don't need that. We just need some more people to come up and try to get that championship opportunity that never really had a chance. What happened to Aleister Black? It's just all those different questions that come around. Maybe somebody from NXT will get the call up, and maybe we'll probably want a championship opportunity. Never know. But it's so much that goes on. So, I personally enjoyed the event. I'm just curious. I don't know. The Miz is probably not going to be WWE champion for that long, but it's up to the writers to see what they put together. And with Fastlane being the only final event before WrestleMania, anything could possibly happen. So maybe this will probably be the beginning of the split up between John Morrison and Miz, because the Miz is the WWE champion. And did he not say a couple weeks ago, when I get to become a WWE champion, John Morrison is going to be first in line to compete for the championship? So that's probably going to, maybe the split up starts tomorrow night for Monday Night Raw. Well, I guess we'll just have to see. But let me know what you guys thought about the event. But one more thing I want to mention is that I don't like how they just had him. They had him crying and complaining about the contract, losing the Money in the Bank contract when he failed to cash in. And he cashed it in, but he just ended up losing the match. He cashed it in during that ladder match. I think it was tables, ladders, and chairs, if I remember correctly. And then he gets the contract back by just whining and complaining. When was that? How did the Money in the Bank contract work like that? So I guess the next Money in the Bank winner that's a heel that can possibly complain, or maybe a face can probably complain enough and get the contract back just when they fail. How come they didn't do that for those other superstars from the past? But that's just something I just didn't really like how they did that for this Money in the Bank contract. If you complain enough, you get what you want when it comes to the Money in the Bank contract.